I got new skates. So these are the Montre Livingston USD Sway 3 Pro Model skates. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. So a huge thank you to our Patreon supporters for helping us get the funds for these skates. We are able to purchase skates without having to ask manufacturers. Lets us have more unbiased reviews and opinions. Couldn't do this without you. If you'd like to help support the channel, patreon.com/backtoblading. Even $1 a month would help. So Montre Livingston is an amazing skater, one of my top 5. He lives in North Carolina, down in Charlotte. And it's funny, we've never met. I've never crossed paths with him, even though I've lived in North Carolina for 10 years. For whatever reason, we've never crossed paths. But I've always appreciated what he's done for the sport. And it's fitting that he gets this amazing looking Pro Model Sway. So the USD Sway started as a very budget skate. It was called the Bronx from a company called Playlife. Now Playlife is a smaller company, subsidiary of Powerslide, which makes USD. They make Powerslide, they make Gods, they make a bunch of other companies. But Playlife was their cheaper brand. They're maybe selling to countries that didn't necessarily have the means to buy expensive skates. The Bronx mold was then modified and turned into the Sway. So they added this new sole plate, which I've skated this before. It's a great sole plate. This is a really nice flat area. It's a raised heel boot, so this sole plate provides a really nice flat area that you can grind, and a UFS mount, so you can put whatever UFS frame you want on this skate without any hassle. So over the years, they've made some modifications to this boot, and currently this is the most throne-like look that I've ever seen. If you remember the USD Thrones, they had a very distinctive toe. You can see this toe very clearly has some hints, some design hints with the original USD Throne, which was one of my favorite looking skates, and I absolutely love the look down of these. This being a Montre Pro Model does come with a few extra bells and whistles. It includes a 45-degree strap, which is one of the things that I love. I love having a 45-degree strap on a skate. Sucks your foot into the back of the boot so it doesn't flop around. Eliminates a lot of the heel lift that you might have with other skates that just use laces. It includes a MyFit Fat Boy liner, which is heat moldable for a much more custom fit. I haven't done that yet. I probably will after this session, but I always like to skate them stock just to see what they feel like out of the box. Now it should be noted that these come boot only, so you can't get a complete setup from USD. Everybody needs to bring their own frames and their own wheels. I put on 50/50 frames. Full disclosure, I'm an owner of 50/50, and I designed this frame to skate the way that I like to skate. So that helps me with reviews. I stick with the same frame and I can do the same setup all across different boots that I review. I'm also riding some 59.1 millimeter Hot Dog Gods wheels that look fire. The white urethane with the red is just amazing. And some red anti-rocker wheels to finish off the look. So I'm here at the Durham skate park. I'm going to skate around a little bit and see what I think. All right, so these are the size 44 skates. I think the shell cutoff is 43-44, so my feet are at the high end of this shell. My feet measure 28.5 centimeters. I think these are rated for 28.5, so that is the max. I'm not having any issues with the length though. I feel like I can wiggle my toes, no problem. I don't have any toe pain or stub toe feeling. These liners are a dual fit liner. So they have a little neoprene in the front, which means that your toes can extend a little bit past the liner and stretch out that neoprene. But I'm not feeling that. I don't feel like my feet are touching the neoprene at all. If anything, these might size a little bit wide and a little bit longer than they are rated. A little bit of pinching in my arch area, like the width area, the front of my foot feels fine, the heel feels fine, but like in that mid section, I feel like it's a little tighter there. I don't know if my foot is narrow or wide. I'm able to skate Majestic 12s, so that is a fairly narrow skate. My hunch is that then my foot is pretty narrow, and I do feel a little bit of tightness in like my arch area width-wise, but other than that, the sizing feels really good. Feels solid, feels like that 45-degree strap really sucked my foot in, and it's keeping my foot from moving around. Yeah, I really like this feel. These skates do have an internal shock absorber, so it's a minor shock absorber, but it's enough to give you a little bit more squish. However, because this is a raised heel boot, you already have about 10 millimeters of forward lean, so adding an additional shock absorber to that 10 millimeters means that I'm leaning even farther forward. That gives you a feeling like you're digging your toes into the ground when you're skating. Especially for me, a guy who really appreciates a flat-soled boot like the USD Carbon or the Razor's SL. Having a shock absorber do all of the lifting for that forward lean is my preference. This does a little bit of plastic and a little bit of shock. So I am feeling like I'm leaning forward a little bit more than normal, but I still feel pretty good. All right, let's try some grinds. All right, sole tricks feel good. I really liked these sole plates when I tried them on the Zoom. And, you know, it's the same boot, so it's really easy to swap sole plates between those two shells. And no complaints here. It was a little sticky to start, but then it started really feeling smooth, feeling like I was locking solid. Alley-oop sole is usually a really good test trick for me to see if the heel lift is too much. If it's too much, I usually lean so far forward on an alley-oop sole that I get on my toe a lot. This wasn't a problem. I feel like my alley-oop sole locked really solid. No issues there. Yeah, they feel really good. I am getting a little bit of wiggle inside the skate, so I'm going to tighten them a little bit. New skates, they need a break in, so occasionally I'll tighten the skates throughout the session. But definitely as tight as I could get them in the beginning of the session, I need to tighten them a little bit now. All right, let's try some groove tricks. All right, groove tricks felt great. Took a couple just to get familiar with the angle. You know, Royales are always a little different depending on how wide your sole plate is and such. But yeah, they felt great. No issues there, no holding up. Felt like I could sit down, squash every groove trick. Yeah, feeling good. Gonna try some topsides. I'm not very good at topsides, so it will be a challenge. But if I can get a top acid, I will. I'll give it 5 tries. All right, so they're fine for topsides. I'm not great at topsides, especially on flat ledges. I can do them on my box with coping, but it's been a while since I've done any ledges, so it's going to take a little bit of practice. I am going to skate these skates for about a month, so hope to have another opportunity to come out here and skate and get some redemption. But I did lock a couple of times and I did slide a couple of times, so I know that they'll be fine if you're good at topside tricks. The wide sole plate is going to be really helpful. I just kept missing, kept throwing my foot up too high, so we'll take a little bit more time to get this, but I don't want to spend it today. All right, so first impressions, they're pretty good. I mean, you really can't beat it for, what, 170 bucks? Boot only? That's an amazing price. The sole plate is great. 45-degree strap is a welcome addition. I think the liner is fine. Even though I didn't heat mold it, it feels absolutely perfect for my feet. I do feel like there's a little bit of slop. I think I need to adjust the lacing and maybe figure out how many clicks I need for the buckle. But otherwise, very impressed. I think, you know, USD Sway is a great skate. The Montre Suede is definitely worthy of Montre. Yeah, highly recommended. I'm gonna skate these for about a month and see how they feel, try a few different setups. But yeah, I'm happy. I think they're good skates. Make sure you subscribe so you can see me skating these over the next month. Really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week.